Hey everyone, thank you for jumping on. Welcome to Chapter Chats, and today we're going to be talking about 1 Samuel chapter 24. Then we're going to talk a little bit about today's and yesterday's reading as well. And we're going to tie all of this in together to kind of have some perspective on what's happening in 1 Samuel chapter 24. So as we jump in here, we read in 1 Samuel chapter 24 that Saul has gathered his troops and he's chasing after David. And so Saul has to take a bathroom break. And as he takes a bathroom break, he goes into a cave. And as he's there, David is a little further back. And as he's a little further back, he has the opportunity to destroy his enemy. Again, Saul is chasing David to kill him. And David now has the opportunity to take away the life of Saul, the one that is chasing after his life. And what does he do? He makes a choice not to. Instead, he cuts a piece off of his robes and allows Saul to take off and get away. As Saul makes distance from the cave, David comes out, begins to shout, and he begins to talk to him and says, "Hey, I want you to know that I had the power, I had the ability, I had the opportunity to take away your life, but I've chosen not to because I love you, because I don't want to do any harm to you. I respect who you are. You're God's anointed. You have been anointed by God to be king. Therefore, I don't want to destroy you. I don't want to kill you. I've spared you. God spared you." And so again, here the king Saul says, "Hey, you know what? You've been more righteous than I have," and so on and so forth. And again, he decides to go home, back home. Saul goes back home, and David goes back and gathers his group with his men. And so we see here that David, in this season of his life, is being chased out of jealousy because of the jealous feeling that Saul has towards David, because he understands that David isn't just anyone. David has the favor of the people. David has the favor of God, and he understood this and recognized David's calling as a king as he spoke to David. So he goes home and he's there. David goes and to the stronghold. And so as we look at this, we must learn our place in being confident in our calling. And so, as you look at the whole scenario, you look at what David could have done. David was already anointed as king. David could have said, "This is my time. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to kill the king, and I'm going to place myself on the throne." No. What did he do? He remained confident in the Lord. He remained confident in his call. He remained confident in his position. And so he made decisions not to destroy the king. But in Psalms 27:13, he says, "Yes, yet I am confident I will see the Lord's goodness." He remained confident in the fact that he would see the goodness of God. God's promise would come to pass. Then you read through the thread of the different Psalms, Psalm 7, and so on and so forth. You see that David, through this struggle, though he feared what could happen to him, at the end of the day, when was given the opportunity to destroy his enemy, he remained confident that he would see the goodness of the Lord. Today, I want to encourage you to remain confident in God's promise. I don't know what God has promised you, but you know. And perhaps you may see the enemy chasing after you, or others that may be jealous of the calling or purpose of God in your life. I want you to not look for ways to destroy those people, but remain confident in who you are. Remain confident in God's calling. Remain confident that God has anointed you. Remain confident in the promises of God. Like David said, "Yet I will be confident that I will see the Lord's goodness." I want to challenge you today. Be confident. You will see God, the Lord's goodness. You will see the goodness of the Lord. Don't try to take things into your own hands, but put your trust in God and know that God will take care of you. In Psalms 27:11, David said, "Teach me, lead me, and don't let me fall." He recognized that his confidence needed to remain in God and not in his own self. So today, I challenge you, be confident. Yet I am confident I will see the Lord's goodness. Repeat that to yourself and remain confident in the goodness of the Lord. God bless you.